Thank you. So the main reason why I decided to join the Miss Face of Humanity Nigeria pageant is to have a bigger platform for my advocacy. As somebody that works with marginalized community and also work for women and girl child empowerment, I realized that it is easy to get lost in the media. Most news outlets, most offices will not listen to you when you're working in marginalized community, but as pageantry, it has a showbiz of his own, he has a buzz of his own. So I wanted to use the crown to sell the message, to sell the advocacy. So that was why I joined the pageant, and it has actually changed me because it has carved me into somebody that has a national outlook. I used to work in Ekiti State and just focus all my resources on my state, but being Mistress of Humanity has allowed me to leave Ekiti State, see how other people in other states live, and be able to bring my advocacy to much more people. So I've grown as a person, I've seen more experience, and I've learned as a leader. A lot of people tend to believe that pageantry and advocacy do not go hand in hand. But for somebody like me, I believe that the crown is a tool to do the work, not a distraction from the work. While the pageantry and the crown gives you a platform, you're expected to use that platform to sell the dream, to sell the advocacy, to advocate to the people you actually say you're representing. So the crown it has been an issue of balance. I've been able to balance the glitz of the crown and the advocacy behind it. So I've been able to use the crown to do more outreach, reach more people, and just impact more people's life positively. So for Peace Pay campaign, it is a campaign that the organization came about because we've noticed that peace in Nigeria is seen as a moral necessity. It's something we do because our Bible or our Quran tells us to do so, not something that we've looked into the idea that it boosts our economy, it makes our country prosper, it puts us in a better place, it just makes our lives better as individuals. So the Peace Pay campaign is based on selling the dream of promoting peace rather than just a moral and religious thing to something that we need in our lives. It's supposed to be a human right. It's something we should live our daily life saying this thing is compulsory, because when a country is at peace, when a community is at peace, you have better economy, you have better humans, you create better relationship. We can even grow bigger as a country. We can go into the likes of developed countries if Nigeria is at peace. So we're selling the Peace Pay campaign as that. It should be an economic necessity, a human right necessity, rather than just being a moral necessity. And for the campaign, we're looking at doing it in so many aspects so as to reach the various and diverse people of Nigeria. We're going to be doing a lot of school outreach so as to reach the children in Nigeria, because we know that tribalism and war is taught. Nobody comes out of their mother's womb and decide, oh, I want to be a terrorist, I want to be an unknown gunman. They are taught. So we want to go into these schools and shape these children, shape our teens to think that peace is not something that is negotiable in Nigeria. It is something that all of us has to work towards. We're going into markets to do market outreach, to talk to our mothers. As we know, women and mothers play a huge role in promoting Nigerian society, in keeping families together. Women are like the glue that keep Nigeria together, from our individual homes to our states. So when we go into these marketplaces, we'll be able to talk to them. And also, they are the most affected when it comes to when peace has been broken down. Let's take, for example, when market prices go up, it's our mothers and our women that goes to market that see this price changes. They are the traders, so it affects them the most. So when we talk to them, they learn to live with their other traders in peace. They learn to understand that every action, every word they say, it affects other people. We're also going to be having a stakeholders dialogue here in Abuja so as to talk to the people in power. You can't promote peace without creating policies that actually make it compulsory. We can't promote peace without talking to the people that can actually enforce the idea of peace. Because most times we need a scapegoat for people to realize that something is compulsory or this thing has consequences. So we're going to be engaging with security agencies. We're going to be engaging with international NGOs like the UN, federal agencies like ministries, so as to just bring this idea in a way that everybody has a duty to them and everybody does their own part to actually create a world and a Nigeria where peace is a human right rather than just a moral necessity. First, I want to first say my heartfelt condolences to the people of Benue State. No state, no community in Nigeria deserves to live to lose a soul rather, and let's now put into the context of over 200 lives in one night. No family deserves to wake up and realize that they don't have family members again. Children, women, pregnant people, no state deserves that amount of sorrow in one day. So I want to first say my heartfelt condolences to them. And I want to say that with the issue of Benue State, we've actually had the idea of this campaign. We've been canvassing for this campaign for over 2 months. So it happened like just inside this campaign. And it further reiterates our idea that peace is not negotiable. It's not something that we can keep postponing. It's not something we can say in the idea of, oh, maybe tomorrow we'll talk about it, maybe next tomorrow. It's something that we have to talk about immediately. And I feel like for the issue of Benue State, is the idea of when we let animosity, when we let it simmer in the heart of people, when something small happens, we don't talk about it immediately, we don't take actions immediately, it boils into something bigger, it boils into things that we cannot control. The issue of unknown government started with one person being kidnapped into a full-blown a whole state sitting at home on Mondays because we've let something small develop into something bigger. So I believe that as a Queen, as my organization, we're going to be going to all these states too because they're actually affected and talk to the people there. And I believe that the Nigerian governments can do their own part by bringing justice to those community. We all know that when something like that has happened, a few people would have this idea of revenge when they've not gotten justice. Justice delayed is justice denied. Now that the issue is hot, let the Nigerian government and the security agencies look for the perpetrators of this evil acts, let them bring them to justice so that the remaining people of Benue State can know that we all stand by them, we feel their plight, and we're not going to let the lives of these people just go in vain. We're going to stand by them, we're going to bring them justice so that other people that might have the same idea of creating this kind of chaos in our community, bringing this kind of death to our country, will understand that there are consequences for these actions. They will understand that when you do something like this, you don't just go scot-free. We don't forgive you because you've decided to confess. We don't rehabilitate you when you take as much lives as 200 lives. There are consequences. I'm going to be talking in the context of EndSARS. We've seen the power of youths in Nigeria. When we all come together as a community of youths in Nigeria, we achieve tremendous results. So we're going to be focusing our town hall meetings on the youth so as to let them know that as much as we can be recruited for good, we can also have people sell the idea of war as something beautiful to us. So we're going to be talking to them about how peace is important and how we should not allow ourselves to be used as instruments of destruction. We say the future, youth are the futures. So when we have destroyed that future today, what would we meet in the future? So we're going to be talking to them about the consequences of of creating insurgencies, of kidnapping, of terrorism, of tribalism to the youths. We're going to tell them that the people, whoever is making you advocate for war, whoever is making you advocate for violence, do not have your best interest at heart. There's dialogue that could be done, there's diplomacy that can be done. So if anybody that suggests, oh, let's go to war, let's make it an eye for an eye, does not have your best interest at heart. Two right has never made a wrong. So we're going to be focusing on the youth to pass that message across. So that, because being the biggest factor in Nigeria right now, when we sell that idea of peace pay campaign to them, they are also going to help us make it bigger, make it go viral on social media. We're doing like a video challenge where a lot of people are going to tell us what peace means to them and how it is important to their community. We're hoping to get about 5,000 videos, which will actually touch almost every local government in Nigeria so that we can get these people to understand that peace is not something that we can be dabbling in and out. It's something that we should teach in our homes, in our school, in our church, in our society. So one of the biggest challenges that face the issue of advocacy is funding. It's not easy to sell a dream to a country of over 250 million people. We can't reach 250 million people from just a Facebook post or from just a school outreach. And nobody has the financial capacity. I know my organization do not have the financial capacity to reach half of Nigeria. We don't even have enough capacity to reach 6 states in Nigeria. So when there's no funding like that, it affects how far we can sell these advocacies, how many people we can impact. You might have the dream. If there's no money to fund that dream, it's just, castles in the air, something you just think about, something you just talk about, but it doesn't reach your target audience. So I feel the major issue we've had is funding. And 2, the idea of peace to not sell. For a lot of people, they buy something that is economically useful to them, something that brings in money for them. In Nigeria, war sells. People are able to sell firearms. People are able to sell protection gears. Nobody wants to sell peace because they can't make financial gains from it. So being able to convince government organizations, being able to convince security agencies, being able to convince people in the community about the idea of something that does not pay them financially has been very, very hard, but we're taking it like one day at a time, one person at a time, one school at a time, and we're hoping that even if we not get to reach the entire Nigeria, like the differences we make in the life of one person, one school, one community would go on to tell the stories of what we've done. On the issue of reach, due to the limited funding, we've taken into the power of social media. You don't know the post that will go viral tomorrow. You don't know something that would catch the interest of multiple people. So we'll be keen into the social media factor, making multiple posts, engaging with our audience, doing Instagram lives, posting scripted videos talking about peace so that we can just be able to get this information across. We've also, for the issue of agencies, we're creating school clubs so that they can help us pass the messages across when we are not there. When you create a school, secondary school club, teens club for something, when you're not there, they meet up every week to talk about the issues that you're advocating for. And I feel like that in itself will create a more lifetime impact. Even though we're unable to do the bigger one, we can actually like just leave the dream there, plant that seed in the heart of young ones, and they can actually, hopefully one day, sell it to a bigger audience. Currently, we do not have any major partnership, but we're open to collaborate with international organizations such as ECOWAS, United Nations, because they have the expertise, they have the manpower, they have the funding, they have the resources that can actually make this campaign a success. We're hoping to also collaborate with government agencies like Ministry of Women Affairs, Ministry of Youth, Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, so that we can get the funding, the personnel needed, the resources needed to actually make this advocacy a success. And we're hoping like we find some success in getting those partners on board. The biggest change I want to see after this campaign is Nigerians seeing peace as a non-negotiable human right. Constantly, we have people fighting over the fact that, oh, we all deserve to live, we all deserve the right to education, but we also all deserve to have a peaceful existence. We deserve to be able to send our children to school without fearing them being kidnapped in school. We deserve to be able to sleep at night and not fearing being bombed or being raised down with fire in our houses. We deserve for our husbands, our fathers to go out there and know that nothing bad would happen to them, not because they've done something bad, but because somebody has decided to not choose peace. So I will feel like this campaign is successful if we have a Nigerian where peace and dialogue is the first thing we think about. When there is a form of violence or when we've been triggered, we don't think, oh, let me get a revenge. We think, okay, let's talk about this thing. Let's communicate about this thing. How do we make this better? What have I done? What have you done? What's the middle ground? If that is possible in Nigeria, I believe that I will feel like we've done something great. And how do I hope to sustain this after I am not Miss Face of Humanity Nigeria? For over 5 years, I've been the founder of Silent Sleeps Initiative, an NGO that is focusing on ending every form of abuse in Nigeria. So after my reign as Miss Face of Humanity, I intend to also focus some of my organization's impact on the issue of promoting peace building in Nigeria and also diplomacy. So I'm going to use my NGO to talk about these issues and still keep on the school outreach, and also in my own little way do a little bit of women empowerment so as just to keep promoting peace in Nigeria. When I'm not busy with advocacies or queen duties, I'm a book nerd. I like to read. I have a mini library in my house, so I just like to check out the new African literature. I'm an author, by the way, so I like to just read from other African literatures. And I also like to do dress up with my friends. I am a fashion girl, so I just like to wear the newest clothes, go out to shop, and just relax with my friends and family. Because at the end of the day, when all is said and done, when we've gone out, when we've come back, we always have to have people in our corner that were just like we can relax with, we can talk to, we can joke around with. So I don't take my family and friends' time for granted. For me, my biggest influence is Irelu BC Adeleye Fayemi. She's the wife of the former governor of Ekiti State. And as a young girl growing up, I was in GSS1 when our husband first got elected, and seeing a woman that is in that kind of position doing advocacy work every day and still coming out stylish, it intrigued me as a teen. I wanted to be her so badly, so I would cosplay her outfits. I would try to say the same things she says on an interview, or I'll try to just rehearse it in my room. I would try to advocate for people the way she does. So I believe that her works are